So this is going to be our last journey through the Black Hills. A little bit of a wildlife safari where we'll see bison, prairie dogs, and some antelope, or pronghorn, as they're called, with a little bit of geosplaining thrown in just to mix it up. So here's my first photograph of a bison in a prairie dog field in Wind Cave National Park. Then we moved up the road a bit, saw some bighorn sheep. That's right, Shelley got better shots than I did. In fact, this is hers right here. We also saw a moose there, but that's a different story for a different time. Let me know if you've ever done a wildlife safari through a state and national park. It's a little bit of a challenge. You can't really get out of your car because some of these animals, well, you don't want to approach them on foot, let's just say. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts.
Boy, that's a papa.
Highway pronghorn or okay, you can.
It's a highway one.
Yeah, it's not running away.
Wait a minute. No, he's actually coming towards us.
So I need to take a little minute here to explain some things. Yeah, I'm going to jump out of the car here. That pronghorn is on the other side of the car, way off in the distance, and I have a telephoto lens on, so I'm okay. There's nothing else around but the prairie dogs.
Now, if you get out,
getting out of the car.
It might be a different story if you get out.
Oh, you should be getting some great pictures of them.
Okay, I'm getting back in. I got my shots. So if you heard us, we kind of referenced highway pronghorn there for a second. That's because Shawn and Corinne, with their travels out west, have kind of seen behaviors of two distinct types of pronghorn out in the wild. Ones they like to call highway pronghorn, the ones that come up to the vehicles and actually look at you and see what you're doing, kind of curious pronghorn. They call those highway pronghorn. The other ones they call country pronghorn, and they kind of are skittish and avoid all contact with humans.
Here are these prairie dogs going crazy too.
I went over to check us out.
He's got his head up.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Oh, he's actually in frame too. Hang on here. Don't move yet, dude.
It's like he's posing for us. I'll come over and get a shot. You can get a shot of him. I'm fine with that.
Oh, I got the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, he's coming to your side,
There
Shawn.
you go.
He's going to cross the road.
He's gonna cross.
Window down.
There you go.
So this one here is my favorite photograph that I made of a pronghorn in Custer State Park. I love the glint on the eye. The only thing that I find lacking is I wish I wouldn't have cropped in so tight, but I was at 70 mil on my 70 to 300. This was out the window. He was really close. Or she. This may be a she. I get confused because they both have antlers.
Well, guys, here we are in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. And this is an absolutely stunning geological area. The Black Hills are rather complicated in their geology because they've had lots of different geologic events that have happened over the course of the past few millions of years. Started out, you had inundation by inland seas, so you had sedimentary rocks deposited, things like mudstones and sandstones and shales and limestones. And then those things were metamorphosed, by igneous intrusions. So you get the igneous rocks also. You get granites and pegmatites and a little bit of basalt and porphyries. And you also get metamorphic rocks that, because the sediments that were deposited were metamorphosed by the igneous intrusions in some areas. So you get schists, slates, quartzites, and a few gneisses. The rocks were also metamorphosed when the uplift occurred during the same time that the Rocky Mountains were starting to be uplifted, the Black Hills were being uplifted. And so if you look at a map of the Black Hills, like an aerial satellite image, you'll see it's a bowl shape. Around the outside, you have these rocks that have been uplifted sort of like this. And then you have the center of the mountains, which has been completely uplifted, and that's where you get the Black Hills themselves. You can kind of think of it like this. The way I would describe it in layman's terms is you can think of it as layers of a cake. You build your cake, you get your layers, you get the icing in between the layers, and then you cut it all up, and then you lift it up. And it's just a jumbled mess, basically. If you look at a geologic map of the Black Hills, it's something that is really complicated to understand, but just know that there are so many different types of rocks. You can drive down the highway and see all kinds of different rock. You might see granites, you might see pegmatites, you might see schists, you might see mudstones, you might see just sedimentary rocks like shales or limestones, all in the same highway because they're all around in this area. You get all different types of rocks. That's the beautiful thing about the Black Hills. It's very complicated geology, but it's absolutely beautiful to come and visit here because it's so varied. You never know what you're going to get. Right here where we're standing, this is a nice granite, a beautiful granite. You've got beyond the lichen, you've got quartz, you've got mica. The shiny bits are mica in here. You've got feldspars, which are kind of pinkish or whitish in color. It's a beautiful granite rock. And a lot of these pinnacles that you see in the Black Hills are formed from this granite like this. In some other areas, you'll find large crystals of feldspar, quartz, and mica. Those are pegmatites. The pegmatites are very similar to the granites, except the minerals are a lot bigger. So you'll see that a lot around here. You can find, in fact, our first campsite that we stayed at had a lot of mica in the area, and that was the pegmatite. So basically, that's the geology of the Black Hills. It's something that, you know, I can't really cover in just a 3-minute time period, 3-minute segment, but it is a beautiful area, and if you come here, you would probably appreciate the geology almost as much as somebody like me who's a geologist. So I think you would love it.
Go back.
I think you're going the wrong direction, dear.
It's a dump station.
No, he's actually going the right
Okay.
direction.
I'm going the right
Oh,
direction.
he's coming our way.
There
Maybe
might.
he'll come into the sun.
I mean, if he
Come
comes,
into the
if he
lakes.
comes up just a little bit further and he turns this way, this is one of those that we just might have to be patient on.
Well, it is wildlife.
So this is the last bison that I was able to photograph in the park that evening. He kept lingering in and out of that golden light, just raking across the image. I kept going, "Come towards the light, come towards the light," and he would for a brief moment. And then we'd all fire off rapid shots. I got a few that I like, Shelley got some she liked, and Shawn got one he really liked. These are Shelley's here. I like how she left the leading room in there so that the bison has a place to move to in the photograph. I even like the close-up because there's enough glint in his eye that he feels alive. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment down below.
There's two. There's probably
Yeah, I gotta figure out a safe distance where I can actually
one back
pull off.
there.
So you see the two bison there? I just targeted them with, targets. Shawn and I were on the driver's side of the truck, out of prime position. Shelley and Corinne, on the other hand, had optimum firing positioning on all 3 bison that were in this field. The unfortunate thing is, 2 riders on horses came up over the ridge behind us, and that bull bison didn't like it.
Or I guess we're all shooting. There's several. There's
Yeah. Yeah, there's some back there.
we're probably best just shooting from the car, maybe.
Probably, except it's down a little low.
Well, not for
Not
that
for
one
this
there.
guy.
There's 2 back there at that tree I can see.
Not for this guy, but
So granted, Shelley didn't get the greatest shot of a bison. She got this nicely lit derriere of a bison. Almost as if he's walking away from his father, who just said, "Bye, son." I know, it's a bad dad joke. Sometimes I have to throw them in. Anyway, it's not a bad lit photo. It's too bad we couldn't have gotten it from the front side. I do like the little bird sitting on top of the bison. You don't usually get that too often.
We're staying there next time. Do you want me to stop stuff?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
That green light.
Shelley, Corinne.
So that was the last bison that we saw in Custer State Park, near one of the campgrounds, which would actually be a cool place to stay, with bison walking in and out of the camps like that. What a great trip we had. There will be some recap videos coming up in the next few weeks as I have time to make them. Some kind of follow-up thoughts and ideas of photographing the Black Hills in the future. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so, head on over and check out Shawn and Corinne's channel, Travels of Red Rover. They've got some really good photographs and some really awesome videos of some of the same locations that Shelley and I visited. We would love for you to join their journey as well. And we're looking forward to meeting up with them in the spring for yet another collaboration. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet done so, please hit that subscribe button, ding the bell for future notifications, and give me a big thumbs up. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you next time.